All right, so I'm going to talk to you about, week 5, right? 5, 6, 7, and we're done. Cool. I'm posting this a little early because I understand some people have a long 3-day weekend and want to work ahead, and I appreciate that. I'm lucky. I work for the state. I get the next 2 that way, so let me get next week's early too. Anyhow, this week's work. This week, well, first of all, before I dive into this week, those of you who want to really stay up and ahead on being ready to put your final project together as soon as possible might also look ahead to next week and the strategy, tactics, measurement, assignment. Because while this week's work doesn't particularly feed your final, and I'll explain why in a minute, next week's work absolutely does. And if you want to leap ahead and work on that so you get feedback earlier so you can spend more time incorporating into that final plan and presentation, that's great. And I will look at those and post feedback and grades as soon as you put them in. So if they're in even this weekend, we'll do that. Usually I wait till the week's over, but I like getting you the last piece you need because I know a lot of you want to spend the better part of that last week really perfecting that final presentation and getting the content right is there. So that's that. Back to this week, customer satisfaction. So let's talk first about the setup of the exercise and then the why of the exercise. So the setup of the exercise does not have to be your project topic company. It certainly can be. But some of you are small, some of you don't understand it. So this is really designed to be a hypothetical organization that has a customer satisfaction, patient experience, call it what you may, committee that you've now been assigned to. And what I'm looking for here is for you to have read what's offered this week, maybe looked around a little bit, and in that 3 to 5 minutes, and please read the instructions because I'm very specific on length, on how I want this to work. And now that we'll be into week 5 and week 6 of the class, I will have to mark down a lot more if we don't follow it along, right? Because what I can't have you do is get to week 7 and not turn in a final that works the right way. So I've been trying to kind of slowly walk it this way. This week I'm very specific, and this presentation should be a dry run of voiceover or box face over PowerPoint, like you're going to do your final. So you got to get this. You got to get this right. Spend the time, do it right. But the content is really you looking at this group and telling them why this stuff matters, right? So you spent the last number of weeks in marketing, and you understand that in marketing we're always trying to get an action to happen, right? A new customer, a new sale, the adoption of something. But what we need to pay attention to for a moment is it's in marketing's best interest for us to keep the customers we have. There's old adages, and some of you will go out and find sourced information about how much cheaper it is to keep a customer than gain a new one. But listen, why would you do the same work over and over again? Why would you gain a customer to lose a customer to have to go gain a customer again? When you could gain a customer, keep a customer, gain a customer, and you have 2 instead of 1, right? So what I'm looking for here is for you to make the case about why the work in patient satisfaction and customer satisfaction matters. The Press Ganey paper on return on investment is really designed to get your brain thinking between the finance and marketing arguments about why this makes sense. And a lot of times, especially those of you that are in provider organizations, when you sit down with a group like this, the reasons why aren't always aligned, right? Organizations like, well, they want me to be nice. They want this, they want that. At the core, though, and I look forward to how you put your own twist on this, whether we like it or not, whether people acknowledge it or not, customers pay our bills, right? Customers keep the lights on, they pay their tab, they're part of our paycheck. They're kind of fundamental. And while in healthcare, sadly, the customer cannot always be right. The customer can always be respected. We can approach things from the customer's perspective. Healthcare is very centric to the way we need it, not the way they need it. From wayfinding and processes to waking them up in the middle of the night. And so I want this 3 to 5 minute chat to be, I want you to give a chance to show how you could enthusiastically or persuasively get up in front of a group and say, this is why we should do this work. Here's what the literature says. Here's what could be in it for us. There's some latitude to it, but you're not trying to solve a specific problem for a specific organization. You're trying to make the case for why this work matters at all, right? The case for customer satisfaction. That's why it's termed the way it is. You will want to read the rubric because it'll give you an idea what I'm looking for. The reason I ask you to both post the presentation, the live, the rolling presentation, and then the slides is I do like to be able to go back to the slides sometimes and read your sources, see your charts, see whatever you do. This needs to be connected, you to the audience. You are, put yourself in the spot. You are presenting in this room or on this video. It's 7:15 one morning. The other people probably been there for a while. The other people probably need a kick in the pants. So have some fun with this. I love outside material. I've tried to provide some of it. There's a rich trove out there about this. So see what you can do. Bring it in. Also, make sure you pay attention to the last of the ethics groups. Can't wait to see what you post. We've had a couple of good weeks. The third week is always one where people tend to run out of energy a little bit because some of the themes and questions repeat, no matter how good and diverse the examples are. So make sure you get in there early and often. Your participation grades are about it. Get your peer reviews in so I can try to do those. And then start looking ahead to the final, right? You've got most of the pieces. All the parameters are in the rubric. There is no reason why you can't have this thing mostly built, and all the content you really need for week 6 is already out there. So if you are one of those people lucky to have a long weekend, go ahead, look ahead, get those strategy, tactics, measurements in, and get the last piece you need. So maybe you can get this thing built to me early, and you can be on your way to maybe when spring comes. Because I don't know about you, but for the next 4 weeks or so, my passion of football is gone. I can't go out and play golf. The yard isn't able to work on yet, and walking the dogs or riding the bike is very subjective to the weather. So let's focus on academics. That's how you're going to fill the time. Look forward to a strong start. Let me know what I can do to help you with this week or anything else, and I hope you have a great day.